Well, interestingly here, after the coin toss with the referee who's from Italy, Simone Sosa, the teams have swapped ends here. So someone has seen something that they fancy about the opposite side of the field. England are going to get us underway, Spain, are going to get us underway. So that would suggest that England have decided to switch things around here.
Yeah, it seems like that. I'm interested to know the reasons why. I don't think we'll know that until the very end of this match, but yeah, we'll see how this goes.
Lee Carsley's under-21s need to take a massive step up if they don't want to be heading to Bratislava airport in the morning. But Spain have never beaten England in a competitive fixture, and hopefully that doesn't change with Portugal or the Netherlands. They're lying in wait in Wednesday's semi-finals. In fact, that game has just finished, so it will be the Netherlands in that semi-final match. They're waiting. They've beaten Portugal, who only had 10 men. So now England's turn. Back here with Iturbe. Spain trying to play their way out, England trying to get in their faces very quickly. Pitch in immaculate condition here. Lee Carsley has moaned a bit about the surface at the other stadium they've been playing at in Nitra, saying the grass was a little bit long and dry, but good conditions here, and Spain coming forward already down the left-hand side, approaching the edge of the England penalty area with Lopez. Plays into Joseph, back out to the left-hand side. Hugo Bueno measures a high cross in. And nodded across goal. Spain with an early chance, and maybe one they should have done better with as well. Nodded over by Diego Lopez. Got underneath it in the end, the winger coming in off the side, and the Valencia man has the first chance of the game that maybe he should have done better with.
Yeah, I think he should have done better. It was Juan Lu at the back post, headed it back to Lopez, and he just got under it, and that would have been the worst possible start, as it was against Germany. I was just going to say before that chance, they need to start a lot better. If they go one down, it's going to be a really difficult game. And perhaps they should have done. It was a poor effort in the end from Lopez.
Here comes Spain again. Mateo Joseph, edge of the area, strikes. It's blocked by Kwanzaa. Comes back out again. Here's a penalty. Spain have a penalty inside a minute and 40 seconds. Another nightmare start for England. And Charlie Cresswell looks forlorn at the referee, saying, how is that a penalty? Well, Joseph opened up his body, curled it towards goal once. It came back out. And then Lopez curled one. It hit the arm of Cresswell. Was that a penalty, Darren Ambrose?
Yeah, for me that's a penalty. And the reason I say that is he stood there, he stood strong, Charlie Cresswell. He had both arms behind his back trying to make himself big. And as the ball come from Lopez, he released his hands, he moved it towards the ball, it's hit his arm. And as we're talking about the worst possible start, I'll be extremely surprised if this is overturned. That's a penalty in my eyes.
Yeah, well, Cresswell started with his arms tucked behind his back, didn't he? And then you're almost hurting yourself there with that stance, because then if one moves out, it looks like a clear handball.
You're exactly right. If he just stood there like that normally and it hits his arms, he probably gets overturned. But the fact his arms started behind his back, he released them. I mean, he gripped his wrist with one hand, he released it, moved it towards the ball. For me, I'll be surprised if this isn't given as a penalty.
Yeah, and we know that UEFA have a much harder line on handballs than we have in the Premier League. But England found themselves a goal behind after 3 minutes against Germany. They've had some shocking starts so far.
I mean, they could have been a goal behind already with Lopez's headed chance. And, I mean, they're still checking this. So they're clearly seeing something in terms of, was it in an unnatural position?
Daniele Cippi of Italy is the VAR.
Like I said, if he was just standing like that, it probably wasn't unnatural, but the fact he had his arms behind his back, he made a movement towards the ball, in my opinion. He released his arms from behind his back, he released it.
The referee is going to the screen here, and maybe a massive let-off for England.
I mean, we know what normally happens here, James. It normally gets overturned. I said I'll be extremely surprised, and I stand by those comments, but the way we're looking now, it looks like he might overturn it.
So they're showing the referee a freeze frame here for where the ball hits Cresswell on the arm. Now the referee's looking at the pictures. He was stuck with the VAR graphic initially, then showing Lopez curling one towards goal. I mean, in terms of the shot itself, it's not causing Beadle any problems, is it?
It's not. It's going to land comfortably in his arms, but what they've not showed just yet, and they might do now, we're seeing the replays on our screens, they've shown it now where he's released his hands, made a movement with his arm towards the ball.
And the referee, walking away from the screen, makes the VAR symbol and says no penalty. So England, I think we have to agree there, Darren Ambrose, with a massive let-off, and Spain absolutely furious that this decision has now been reversed. And Santi Denia, the Spain coach, is losing his mind on the touchline.
Look, we've got to look at it impartially in this situation. If it was the other way round, we'd expecting that to be pointing to the penalty spot. We're seeing on our screens a replay of it once again. Charlie Cresswell is running off, fist pumping that it's not been given. I think he knows he's been lucky there. For me, that was a penalty. But look, they've got to get on with it now. It could have been the worst possible start, but it's not. They've been let off.
This is the only UEFA tournament of the 3 going on this summer in the men's categories of under 17, under 19, under 21 that has VAR in operation. I think England pretty glad there that it was, because it's massively helped them out. The thing is with these tournaments, you never quite know what instructions the referees have had in terms of their interpretation of handball. It changed every single time, which is infuriating for fans.
Yeah, I just look at the reaction of Charlie Cresswell, and I think he knew that was going to be given as a penalty, and when it wasn't, the reaction of him fist pumping, otherwise you'd be like, yeah, I told you it wasn't a penalty. He was delighted that wasn't given, and look, we're all delighted as English supporters, so Spain have to get on with it. Sometimes it's not their day in VAR, and today's that day.
Elliott coming in off the right hand side, gives it away. Mosquera clears to the halfway line, where it's picked up by Hinshelwood. Now Quansah. England just in different positions here at the moment, trying to rotate round to get back into their natural areas. England on the right hand side with Elliott. Cresswell back inside his own half. Can England use that situation to their advantage here? Here comes Scott. Spain not too keen to close him down. Elliott again coming in off the right side. McAtee's playing left at the moment. Quansah, a man who's been heavily linked with a move to Bayer Leverkusen. A number of the players in this tournament as a whole have had a lot of headlines written about them in recent times. Hundreds of scouts here watching on as well. Scott, Hinshelwood to the left hand side to Amari Hutchinson. The Ipswich man thought he was going to deliver initially on his left, then goes back one. Hinshelwood with a nice little no-look pass there into McAtee. Hinshelwood from the left-hand side floats it into the area, and Spain able to hook it away, but England having a good sustained period of possession here, looking quite comfortable on the ball as well.
Yeah, really, really good play at the moment, and they're in again on the right-hand side.
Nice ball by Scott to the right, where Elliott picks it up by the corner flag, running here at Bueno. Elliott, nice back heel, Livramento can send it into the area. Scott was in there, Spain get it out, and England at the moment causing Spain plenty of problems, who for their part can't get over the halfway line, but they will here with this counter-attack as it's played out to the left-hand side into Lopez, driving down the left-hand side. It was his shot that the referee penalised Cresswell for handling. Spain still coming, worked out to the right-hand side by Molero, into Juanlu, tucks it back on to Marc Pubil, who's been playing in the second tier of Spanish football this season with Almeria, the only one in the Spain starting 11 not to have played top-flight football in the campaign just ended. Pubil, challenged quickly by Stansfield, dropping it, wins the ball. Stansfield won the ball, but Carsley was moaning to someone about something, not quite sure what he was disappointed with there, but England come forward. Elliott spreads the play out to the left-hand side. England haven't had this kind of space in any game they've played so far, really. And it's Hutchinson running here at Pubil on the left-hand side. Hutchinson floats a high one in, it's deflected, headed away by Mosquera. Back out to Scott, edge of the D. He'll go left here, into Hinshelwood. Quansah. Quansah again, just inside the Spain half. We played 8.5 minutes. Spain 0, England 0. Hutchinson on the left wing, running here at Pubil. Blocked behind. It's a corner here to England, and everything positive at the moment for the young Lions.
Yes, it absolutely is. It's been a very hectic opening 9 minutes with the penalty shout that wasn't given, and then England have just taken over. And sometimes the decision not to be given a penalty has swung the momentum away from Spain, and England are trying to capitalise on this. It's moments like this, though, that England have to score and go a goal ahead.
Morton occupying the area on the edge of the box here, for England. Scott still wearing that chin mask that he's got, wraps right the way around the bottom of his face, runs up, curls it in towards the near post, flicks away. Can England turn it home? Oh yes, they can! England have taken the lead, and James McAtee, the captain, has fired in from just a couple of yards out. The ball broke loose, Spain were like statues, and England were on it in a flash, and as things stand, they're heading through to the semi-finals.
Exactly what we just said, wasn't it? They need to capitalise on moments when they're ahead, when they're on the ascendancy. It was poor defending from the Spanish. I think it was Mascara in the box as the corner come in. It was just flicked from the front post, and he went to clear it with his left foot and he just tapped it in front of James McAtee. The simplest of finishes, as I see it here. It comes in, and I think it's Mascara, and it's Mascara, and he tries to clear it, gets his feet tangled, just touches it 6 yards out. James McAtee, there you go, tapping 1-0.
Shio Bueno, who was meant to be picking him up there, but James McAtee, a man who wasn't in the initial England under-21 squad to come here to Slovakia. Question marks about his availability with the Club World Cup going on. Manchester City sanctioned his involvement in this. I'm sure Lee Carsley will be happy that he's here now. Hasn't really had his best tournament, but was in the right place at the right time there, and England leads with 10.5 minutes gone. His first goal at under-21 level since a Barney friendly game that England played against France back in March. That was absolutely nuts. This opening 11 minutes has been just the same as well.
It certainly has. If you're Santidenia, the Spain coach, you'll be fuming. One, with the decision, and two, with his team's reaction to that decision. They've been all over the place since the penalty was overturned and not given. And the defending for that corner, it has to be said, was awful. Mascara should have cleared it with his right foot, went with his left, and just controlled it 6 yards out in front of McAtee just to slot it home.
Can we just talk about the England shape, or maybe the personnel within the shape as well, because we all thought Livramento would play left, but he's playing right, and England coming again here, and Scott thrashes it over from the edge of the D. It's sat up for him, but on his weaker left side, sliced it over the bar.
Yeah, I think the shape is a lot better, and I know we've spoken about it many times. Having a forward occupying the defensive line in Jay Stansfield, I've been watching him closely. He's making those forward runs. He's not getting involved in the game too much, but he's making the forward runs. And with the attacking flair that England have, it's just opening space for all these players. It's unselfish running from Stansfield.
Molero taken out after the ball had gone there by Quanta. Referee doesn't show it as a foul though, didn't play the advantage, and England back on the ball again. I guess from my point of view, having seen Spain, I wonder whether he's played Hinshelwood as the left back, because there's probably not as much defensive responsibility on that side, because Juan Lu is a right back actually playing a bit further forward.
Yeah, and we've already seen Lopez, haven't we, get forward, get the shot off. It was his shot that created the penalty shout. It was his header, and I think maybe Livramento trying to get him facing his own goal, get him the other way. We know how much Livramento likes to get forward. Can Lopez track him back? Will he do the job for his side, or will he play cat and mouse and kind of stay forward? I think that's a real key battle in this match.
Quanta just takes a breath and just stands on the ball for a couple of seconds here. You are listening to TalkSport's coverage of the UEFA Under-21 Championship here as we continue to follow England's journey here in Slovakia. Could have been so different in this game already, as Spain were awarded that penalty after just a minute and 40 seconds. A penalty that was then ruled out after a VAR review, and England taking the lead in the 10th minute through James McAtee, the captain. Livramento takes a throw here into Stansfield. They're hoping to get a runner off him. It didn't quite work, but it was an inventive throw for them. Molero up to the halfway line for Spain. He's just right of centre here at the moment. Of course, the host Slovakia out of this competition. A few England flags dotted around the edge of the playing surface here, but not too much of a vibrant atmosphere at these games now, with local interest having been extinguished. I wonder whether a few England fans might drift out to this part of Europe if England do get through to the semis, and perhaps even the final, which is in Bratislava at the weekend next week. Played forward by Terega, gives it away as he was put under pressure there by Stansfield, and it's Quanta driving forward here for England. He could go all the way. Quanta hits it from range, it's spilled, and a tap-in for Harvey Elliott. England lead by 2-0. And Lee Carsley's side really seizing their opportunities here tonight. That might be enough to see them through already. They've really hit Spain where it hurts here. They lead by 2-0.
Wow, that's all I can say. What a contrast in the 3 group games to what we're seeing right now. As you said, as Quansah drove forward, it could have been so different with a penalty shout. It wasn't. Quansah picks the ball up, drives forward. He had an opportunity to pass it right. He didn't. He decided to shoot 20 yards out, 25 yards out. And Iturbe made the mistake again, the Spain goalkeeper. He's onside, Harvey Elliott, as Quansah shoots. The one thing you can't do as a goalkeeper is parry it right in front of the fullback, the forward. Needs to get that away from goal. He parries it 2 yards out. Harvey Elliott can't miss. 2-0. What a contrast, James.
The goalkeeper's dived down to his right, hasn't he? But it's one of those where he's parried it back the other way, but in doing so has taken all the spin off the ball and it's just sat there flat.
He's got it all wrong. Iturbe, he's got it all wrong. As you said, he's dived down to his right. He didn't need to dive that far. That was the issue. It wasn't going too much into the corner. I think he's tried to hold on to it as opposed to parry it away from danger, and he's got it all wrong. He's come off his elbows and landed in front of Harvey Elliott. Quickest to react, Harvey Elliott. Got to give him credit for that. Quickest to react, and a simple tap in from a yard out.
That's Elliott's 10th goal in his last 12 caps. He was their top scorer in qualifying to reach the finals here, and he grabs a goal in this match to add to the one he scored against Czechia in England's opening game of the competition. Maybe I was getting a little bit too excited there by saying it might be enough for England already, but Spain are going to have to really improve, and every time England come forward at the moment it looks like something's going to happen for them. And again they've got 3 over here on the right hand side. McAtee bursting forward, goes out to Elliott, edge of the area, up against Bueno, back into McAtee, Livramento across, saved by Iturbe, and Lopez brings it away. This is stunning football here by England now.
What a goal that would have been, by the way. Unbelievable play. McAtee, Harvey Elliott, Livramento down the right hand side, tried to find Amari Hutchinson in the box and it was blocked. But if he just got his head up, Tyler Morton was at the back post on his own. A little dink to the back post and he would have just nodded it home, and that would have been 3-0 and that would have been game over.
On an overhit pass here by Javi Guerra, and of all people in the Spain team, that just about sums up their opening 16 and a half minutes here. Just seeing a replay of that chance again for England. Went near post there, Livramento could have just clipped it up high to the far where England had runners coming in as well.
I mean, it was good saving there in Iturbe. I thought it was blocked by the defender, but Iturbe got his leg to it, his right leg, outstretched leg. Otherwise, Amari Hutchinson probably was tapping that in the middle. But as we said, Tyler Morton was free at the back post. But what play that was from England, and what a difference we've seen already in this match.
England with a big switch of play here. It's out of play by Pubil. But they're stretching the field so far and wide, aren't they? From the vantage point we've got here in a commentary position, it's a much bigger stadium, isn't it, than Nitra, that only held about 6,000 or 7,000, but 18,000 here tonight, and it feels like the pitch for England is so much bigger for them to exploit out there.
Yeah, and it seemed they've got the game plan exactly right at the moment. Look, it's not over yet. Spain are a good side, but Spain need to come at England. As you rightly said, with the forward players that England have, the counter-attacking football that England can play, with Livramento overlapping Harvey Elliott and the other way Hinchelwood overlapping Amari Hutchinson, England could score again quite easily.
Bueno back here to Mosquera, who's of Colombian descent but playing here for Spain at youth level. Back here by Quansah to Beadle, who plays it out to the left side here to Hinchelwood, who's slotted into that position fairly well so far, but it's his pass that goes astray here. And then England scurry to win it back, and Hutchinson gives it to Morton. Well, there were question marks, certainly from us and me, as I read out the team news earlier on about the team selection here tonight for Lee Carsley, but just goes to show maybe why he's a coach and I'm not.
I mean, there was question marks for myself as well, James, in particular the quality of this England side, and could they play against a team like Spain, who have been relatively good in this tournament, and give them problems. Okay, it could have been so different. Lopez's chance and then the penalty shout that could have easily been given as a penalty. But England had dominated.
Quansah cross here to Cresswell, and Quansah again. Both the England centre halves have been linked with moves away. Cresswell reportedly in advanced talks with Como and a move to northern Italy. Quansah holds it here, and Spain sitting off and not keen to go and engage here at all. It's obviously in no rush, with England 2 to the good here live on Talk Sport. Big summer of live sport and live football continuing. We've got more live action for you tomorrow night from the Club World Cup as Manchester City take on Al Ain. That's a 1 a.m. kickoff from Sunday going into Monday. Tuesday, 7:45, we've got Benfica against Bayern. Esperance taking on Chelsea on Wednesday. That's a 1 a.m. start there. On Thursday, Juventus against Manchester City is a 7 o'clock kickoff, a bit more of a sociable time. And then starting the following Wednesday, we go into the Women's European Championship and the opening game between Switzerland and Norway. England's first game is on Saturday the 5th of July. Wales likewise as they take on the Netherlands. And fast forward to the new Premier League season in the middle of August. We've got the first 2 games exclusively live on the TalkSport network. Liverpool against Bournemouth Friday the 15th of August, and then Aston Villa taking on Newcastle United from 11 o'clock. Our coverage starts on Saturday the 16th. So much to look forward to over the next couple of months, and no doubt plenty more games to be announced between now and then as well. The new EFL fixtures to come out this week too will really give a structure to the season coming up ahead. Lopez on the left here for Spain. Comes back on, and now Moleiro. England with so many players back behind the ball. Let's get it. 5-4 by Trientes at pace. Moleiro wide to the right hand side to Juan Lu. Waits for Pubil to go past him on the outside. Pubil on the right wing, swings in across, a good ball as well. Cresswell with a flying header away.
Needed to get that away as well, Cresswell. And if he just got the cross right, Pubil, Javi Guerrero's on his own in the box.
Pubil again, good ball in, and Joseph goes down inside the box. Former England youth player, now with Spain. Bueno to Mosquera, who's halfway inside the England half here, the Spain centre half. Trientes. Lots of this Spanish side know each other well. Many of this squad are on the books of Valencia, including 4 of the starters here, 3 of the back line, and Lopez, who plays up on the left. They played nearly half of this first half, and it's Spain 0, England 2. England with goals to Elliott and McAtee within just 5 minutes of one another. Here's Bueno on the left, a couple of step overs to get past Elliott, then sent in the cross, but just like his previous effort, wildly overhit, and England back in possession again.
Well, it's been all England since the opening 3 minutes. Since the penalty was overturned, it's been all England. They've dominated the match. They look threatening, dangerous on the attack. Jay Stansfield is working extremely hard, albeit not getting much in terms of goal-mouth action, but he's winning the ball back, winning possession for his team in his own half, and then allows the players to go forward and counter-attack. And like I said, I think England can comfortably score at least another 1 or 2 goals.
England working their way forward again. Hutchinson takes it, turns, is able to play it back to Hinshelwood on the left wing. Running here, Juan Lu's gone back with him. Hinshelwood plays it inside this time into Morton. Works his way into an advanced position. Scott, though, just takes some tempo out of the game and takes his time to turn and play it to Elliott, who now speeds it up and goes out to the right-hand side into McAtee. Back to Elliott again. Down the right-hand side to Livramento, who's playing on the right for the first time in this tournament. Elliott goes back. Cresswell, Scott, Cresswell, Quansah. England is playing it around in a neat little triangle here, just outside the centre circle, inside the Spain half. Scott on the left-hand side now, just 5 yards in from Santideña's technical area. He then goes down, he was fouled, and it's a free kick to England right in front of the Spanish bench, and it hasn't gone down too well at all.
I'm wondering if that was Amari Hutchinson that took out Alex Scott there. And I say that because Amari Hutchinson looks in a bit of a bad way as well. I can't see anything that Pubil done wrong there. I think he ran into his own player, but the free kick's been given and it's all going England's way at the moment.
So England hold on to it here on the left-hand side. We're pumping this one long, it's just not the style anymore. And a back heel by McAtee takes the free kick into Hinshelwood. Strokes across the park here by Scott into Cresswell. Quansah into Morton. England just playing it around here, no need for them to rush things at the moment. Morton, who didn't play a single league game in the season just gone, played 5 times for Liverpool's under-21 side. He got a handful of appearances in the Cups as well, 5 in all across the League Cup, FA Cup and EFL Trophy. But always in the thoughts of Lee Carsley. Ball bent down the right-hand side here. Lopez has been caught out. Livramento again. Low ball in towards the near post. The goalkeeper, Camaturre. Mosquera takes it away in front of him and puts it out of play for an England throw in line with the edge of the penalty area on the right-hand side.
He is so good at that, Livramento. We've seen it throughout the tournament when he's played on the left-hand side. This time he's at his natural right-hand side. As soon as anyone gets the ball, I think it's Cresswell got the ball this time, he just goes, makes the run. If you find him, he's dangerous attacking into the opponent's box. Really love his driving runs forward.
Pubil. And they run that position here for Spain. Interesting to see if manager Santidenia, who's already won European Championships at under 17 and under 19 level in 2017 and 2019, and won the gold at the Olympics last year, who's looking to complete the set here in Slovakia. Look, he might be forced almost into making changes at half-time to try and inject some life into this Spain side. They've looked so sloppy in everything they've done so far. But they've got it with Pubil on the right-hand side here. He's gone beyond Morton. Juanlu in the right wing position. Back to Moledo. Of Las Palmas. To the right-hand side. Juanlu looking to play a low ball in. England able to block it away. Comes back to Turientes. Edge of the D. Squared to Guerra. Bueno on the left-hand side, who's just spent the season on loan at Feyenoord in Rotterdam. Lopez. Back to Mosquera. And England now have a level of luxury because they can play the game that's been played against them in the previous 2 matches.
Absolutely, they're just in a good shape and they're saying come and break us down, and Spain can't do that at the moment. It's a good possession, good passage of play from Spain, but just in front of the England defence. And once again we're seeing now James Stansfield working hard for his team, winning a free kick, taking pressure off, and they can just clear it and take their time as much as they can.
So England free kick midway inside their own half, just a few yards in off the left-hand touchline. It's going to be taken here by Brighton's Jack Hinshelwood. In terms of the stats so far in this game, they are pretty heavy in England's favour. Who've had 55% of the ball, 3 shots on target from 4 attempts overall. They've had the only corner as well, and they've crucially got a 2-goal lead. Beadle out here to Kwanzaa. Into midfield he plays it, where it's picked up by McAtee, who's got a floating role in this side, which is working well for him so far, and the team of course. Back here by Scott to Beadle, who's put under pressure and gets it away in time to Kwanzaa, and then Hinshelwood has to play it away as he's turning in the left back area. Picked up in the middle now by Scott, who plays it through, looking for the run there of Hutchinson, who probably would have been offside had he got onto it. It remains Spain 0, England 2, 28 minutes gone.
Yeah, I agree. I think he just went a little bit too early. If the ball was right, he'd have been called back for offside. But I just don't think Santidenia and the Spanish side see this coming with England. If they'd have watched the game, the tournament and the group stage so far, they wouldn't have seen the fast start, the good passage of play that they've been playing. And I think this has shocked them. And as you said, we might see changes at half-time.
Do you see Lee Carsley as a motivational figure? He's quite, when he talks to the media at least, and we have to admit, very different talking to the media compared to being in the dressing rooms. I'm sure you'll testify. But do you see him as being that, not necessarily a ranter and raver, but a player that can, a manager that the players can really be inspired by?
Well, look, I agree with you. Just looking at his persona in around the media and from what we see in the public eye, it doesn't look like he could be.
Here comes Spain down the right. Pubil can cross from the right-hand side, blocked by Morton, and Spain have a corner. Yeah,
it doesn't look like it could be, but you don't get to manage the England national team, even albeit just for a short period, without having something about you in the changing room and some inspiring words. And what this team has shown me already, that he probably has got that, because I didn't see this in terms of the performance of England today. I thought they would really struggle, and they proved me wrong.
Spain's first corner. Turientes rolls it down the right-hand side. Guerra crosses it in towards that near post area. I'm trying to nod it towards goal there. I think was Tarrega, who climbed high to get the winning goal for Spain on match day 1, but Livramento doing enough against him, and he's now gone down with an injury.
Yeah, I'm surprised he actually won it. It looked like Alex Scott was about to head it clear, and he just swung his head, missed it, and Tarrega come behind him. I think it shocked him that he got connection of the ball, and it just went wide, about 2 yards, so it was comfortably wide. Yeah, I'm just watching the replay. I don't know how Alex Scott didn't get ahead to it.
Well, Spain have been very good over the last decade or so in this competition. They've won 3 of the last 7 tournaments, though England, of course, the reigning champions, having beaten Spain themselves through a fairly fortunate goal after Curtis Jones deflected home Cole Palmer's free kick in the final 2 years ago. Spain have reached the semi-finals or better in each of the last 4. They always get out of the group. They've done that every single time they've been in the competition since 2009, but seem to have met their match so far tonight, with England holding a 2-goal lead as we play the final 15 minutes of this first half. Kwanlu approaching the right corner of the penalty area. Plays a low cross in, cleared into the air by Kwanzaa. Hutchinson helps it on its way, but his header drops to Mosquera. And Spain starting to see more of the ball now as England are happy to conserve their energy and just sit off here. Lopez, Mosquera, 15 yards inside the England half, comes forward a little bit more, then plays in Lopez on the left, cuts in field on his right side, and it's sliced over the top of his own bar by Cresswell. It's a corner to Spain, who are just turning the screw ever so slightly.
Yeah, they are turning the screw, and it's always going to happen. You're always going to get periods when you're under the cosh, and that's what they are at the moment. England, Spain playing particularly well on the attack, still look comfortable though England, but they need to concentrate. They don't want to concede before half time.
Beadle makes himself big in the England goal. Spain have Tarrega, Mosquera and Turientes attacking it, but attacking it for England there was Hinshelwood. He nods away. He's got his head in both boxes. And Spain have to go all the way back to Alejandro Iturbe of Atletico Madrid. And the goalkeeper stands there in a motionless position with his foot on the ball, and then just hammers it out of play in front of us here. And Lee Carsley puts his arms up in the air to applaud his defence, so he's fairly happy with it at the moment.
The shape is brilliant at the moment. We haven't seen this throughout the tournament, but we did say, didn't we, that they've done the job in the group. They got through, and this is the team we expected to see all tournament. And Iturbe there with a poor delivery. Started off in his distribution was relatively good, but you can just tell they're panicking at the moment, Spain.
England have won all 7 of their under-21 quarter-final ties. The first 6 of those were over 2 legs. This competition didn't used to be in a central country like this, where a number of stadiums play host to the games. They used to play just home and away matches, but a little more organised these days, and England certainly organised here tonight. Elliott coming forward this time, but spoons one over the top.
Yeah, he had Livramento, he had an option. Livramento making a run, making the overlap. He decided to try and cross to Amari Hutchinson at the back post. It just took a bobble just before he crossed it. Ended up going over the crossbar.
Spain in possession inside their own half. England will be desperate to get to half time with this 2-goal buffer intact. England overcame Portugal at this stage of the competition 2 years ago. A 1-0 win it was then through Anthony Gordon. Once a little bit short with his back pass here to Beagle, who manages to return it to him in time. Might have been doing him a slight disservice there. Maybe it was always part of the plan. Beagle well away from his goal and playing a nice reverse ball into Morton, who carries it into midfield, but then a heavy challenge from Morton has taken out the Spain player, and the yellow card's out already from Simone Sousa.
Yeah, it was a poor challenge, Tyler Morton. It was one of those when he was dribbling out, he just overran the ball and just dived in. I think he's lucky that it was 1 foot. It was studs up, but it was 1 foot. It wasn't high. And he picked up the yellow card.
It was a bit of a cruncher there. He almost slid on his knees in the end, Morton. Didn't make contact with his foot, did he? It was an awkward challenge.
Yeah, I mean, from the angle we initially see from up here, it looked like he got him with 1 foot in terms of studs, but no, he pulled out, and that's probably saved him really, in terms of if he'd have gone full out with his studs, maybe he'd have been in more trouble. Just caught him with his knee. You're right.
He's almost done a power slide into his man there. Not the time and the place. Spain have it, as they have done really for the last 10, maybe going on 15 minutes now, but England are quite happy with the way this game is playing. Spain throw, and it goes back here to Terega inside his own half. Mosquera's always square of him and takes it off him. Out to the right hand side, Terega, member of the Valencia contingent, one of the older players at the age of 23 as well. As long as you were under 21 at the start of the qualification campaign, you are eligible to be playing here. Trientes, back to Mosquera. Spain inside their own half, and we've played 35 minutes here on TalkSport. Spain under 21's 0, England 2. Goals earlier on in the piece from McAtee and Elliott, both from just a few yards out. McAtee, Cresswell, and turns it to Beadle again. England will take that risk, won't they, because they want to invite Spain onto them and quickly play their way forward, which they've managed to do here. But the ball towards Hutchinson wasn't good, and Spain back on possession now.
Yeah, they're so neat and tidy. And James Beadle is doing particularly well in goal. Soon as the ball's back to him, he's under pressure from the Spanish forwards, and he doesn't panic, puts his foot on it, draws them in and finds the spare man.
Pubil to Terega, forces it past a number of England players, and now Juanlu on the right hand side. Always wants support to come with him, doesn't look the most natural of right-sided players. Spain have it now with Javi Guerra, edge of the D, twisting and turning, trying to find space for a shot. A towering midfielder goes out to the right hand side into Molero, who's popping up all over the place for Spain in that number 10 position. Terega, Mosquera only 30 yards from goal here. Luck makes the referee and plays it to the left hand side into Hugo Bueno. Mosquera, Lopez back to Bueno, whose nickname is Kinder. In he comes. Still Hugo Bueno on his left foot, edge of the area. Molero helps it in, and Scott will chest it down and look for a ball out here. He's overplayed it slightly. Spain have it with Joseph. Molero, edge of the area, good feet, goes down, and it's another penalty to Spain. And there can be no contesting this one, surely. And England only have themselves to blame. Overplaying, too confident, and they've been caught out. And surely this time, this one is not going to be overturned with the help of VAR.
No, it won't be. It won't be. It's a flailing leg, as I'm just watching the screen. But it's lovely for Trientes.
It's Quanta, who's clipped Molero.
No, it's not Trientes, sorry, it's Molero, and it's great footwork. But as you said, it's their own fault. It's Quanta. He just stuck his leg out, and it's 100% a penalty. This one won't be overturned. I don't think the other one should have, but so who knows? This one shouldn't though. But it's their own fault. They're trying to overplay. I was going to say when you next coming to me, but they still looked relatively comfortable. But losing it just outside your box, you can't do that against the quality that we have here in the Spanish side.
It's already check complete. This Spain penalty is going to stand. Now this is interesting. Mateo Joseph is holding the ball at the moment. Of course, in the modern day, that is often a shield almost for the player who is actually going to take it. He took a penalty against Romania and missed it. The first penalty taken of his senior career, albeit at under 21 level, but since he turned pro, that was the first penalty he'd taken. But Javi Guerra is going to get the responsibility this time.
Yeah, I think if you were Mateo Joseph, you'd want to take it as well. You'd want to put right some wrongs in terms of the penalty miss, but no, he's handed it over to Javi Guerra, probably their most creative player, most naturally gifted player in my opinion. James Beadle would have done his homework though.
Well, Guerra has only scored once for the 21's, that in a friendly victory against Denmark in November last year. Standing against him is James Beadle. Can the man who spent the season on loan at Sheffield Wednesday make himself big here? The goal looks absolutely huge, in no small part due to the fact that the nets go back as far as, well, probably either Wembley now or as they used to do at the is it the Riazor where Deportivo La Coruña used to play.
Yeah, they go back far,
nets
don't they?
There. Huge.
There's got to be some power to just reach the back of the goal, back of the net.
Anyway, the ball has been replaced on the spot. The referee not quite happy with the placing of it. That's been a big weight here for Javi Guerra, who could pull Spain back into this. Steps up to the ball now and rolls it home as Beadle goes the other way, and Spain have a foothold back in this quarter-final tie again. Just as England were looking so comfortable, La Rojita have made it 2-1.
Yeah, it's a lovely penalty. Javi Guerra, lovely penalty. Cool, calm, collected. Waited for James Beadle to dive to his right, and he just slotted it bottom corner the other direction, sent him the wrong way. Really good penalty.
And Spain, even if they go into half-time, 2-1 down, they'll have something to work with here. And then they're probably going to have to come out of their shell a little bit more. It was never likely to be one-way traffic for them here tonight. And that's the first thing that's gone against them really this evening. And they come again here, Spain. Get it, edge of the penalty area, he strikes! Oh, I thought that was heading towards the top corner. It veers just away from goal in the end. But we can see by his reaction here with his head in his hands, he knows just how close that was.
Yeah, he was, 20 yards out, and I think he was attacking. He was looking for a movement, looking for Joseph's movement in the box, and it didn't come, so he decided to take it on himself. I think if he just a little bit lower, a little bit to his left, and that would have nestled into the top corner. I think England need to stay calm now, stay patient. Don't want to concede again in the next 5 minutes.
Hutchinson on the left-hand side here for England. He's got the pace to take on Pubil, but he goes down here holding his head, and Pubil just managed to put a foot on the ball and win it back very easily. Spain in possession as England essentially play with 10, and Hutchinson holding his head, so in a way the referee's duty, duly obliged here to stop the game, but play goes on instead. Turrientes, and actually play now is stopped, and Turrientes actually put his foot on the ball there. I'm not sure whether the referee made a signal as though to say he was going to stop the game, but either way it has now been stopped, and Hutchinson will get some treatment.
Yeah, I'm interested to see the replay to this, because initially it didn't look like it was his head. It looked like he just got tackled and maybe was caught by a flailing boot. I mean, Santideno is right in front of him, and he was surprised as anyone that the game was stopped. They're checking Amari Hutchinson over at the moment. I'm just seeing the replay now. It was a good challenge. I think it might have been his knee or his shin that's caught him.
Yeah, there was no real wrongdoing, was there? It was just a follow-through after Hutchinson had already gone down.
Yeah, just right on the back of his head, his trailing leg just caught him. It was just below his knee, so it couldn't be a sore one. And I think you're right. I think Simone Sousa should have maybe stopped that. He was holding his head, Amari Hutchinson. It was obvious that it was a head injury.
Well, it seemed like Santideno, actually the Spain coach, was signalling for the referee to stop the game, or at least ask for his players to stop playing, because he could see the head injury right in front of him. As we just have a look at the England goals once again. The first one that dropped to McAtee inside the 6-yard box and just needs to ease it into the corner away from the goalkeeper. And then the second one spilled by the goalkeeper. Elliott first to the rebound.
It's got kind of lucky, really. I mean, we're talking about England making a mistake before the penalty that was given. I mean, it was their mistakes, Mascara for the first and the Turby for the second, that allowed our England players, McAtee first one, and then Harvey Elliott to just get a couple of tap-ins. Mistakes have been the story of the game so far.
And the Spain fans inside the crowd here celebrating wildly as that penalty hit the net. I think the game had turned this way and that Spain was seeing a lot more of the ball because of the fact England had a 2-goal lead, or do you think that this game's now going to continue in this fashion?
I think it will continue in this fashion now. I think I always think, and I've always said it, that the 2-0 is a dangerous scoreline, because you tend to sit back and invite pressure. We see Germany do it the other day. England couldn't capitalise on it, ended up only scoring one. But if you keep inviting pressure with players against players of this quality, you're going to concede.
2 minutes to go in the first half, and Spain coming forward. Bueno inside the box, better cross this time. Juanlu was in there, but so was Hinshelwood to head away for England. Guerra tries to touch it down, and at the moment Stansfield is just a man chasing shadows at the front end of the field for England. Now gets his foot on the ball and finds Elliott, and makes his run down the right hand side, but Elliott doesn't want to find him. Stansfield wasn't really ahead of his man there, and in the end he's gone out off Elliott. It's a throw into Spain.
There seems a bit of frustration in the England players' faces at the moment. They don't really need to. If they can keep the scoreline as it is now and get to half-time, they can regroup and go again. It was a fantastic opening 25 minutes. Spain have taken over since then. They've got their goal, but they're still in the lead, England. They're still okay.
Well, there's going to be a little bit, probably actually a fair amount of added time at the end of this first half. 2 lengthy VAR reviews for the 2 penalties that were given. And the injury that we just had to Hutchinson as well. Spain just playing it from side to side here at the moment inside their own half. Valero down the right hand side into Juanlu, who There's a little pirouette and manages to find a path out into Torrientes. Kubil down the right hand side, scoops it forward over the head of Quansah. Nicely taken down by Joseph. Angle tight on the right, hit the arm there, and Cresswell again. That's not going to be a penalty, but cushioned back and fired through the gap there by Torrientes. Great block it was by Alex Scott to get in the way.
Yeah, it was a really, really good block. Put his body on the line for his side. Looked like it was heading towards the goal. Torrientes looked like he blocked it. I know we've got a potential penalty check here. I think they do that with everything, don't they, nowadays, as we're seeing the replay here.
They hit the leg of Cresswell as he kind of crouched down to block the shot and spun up onto his arm. And then it was blocked by Scott's leg, and it will be a throw-in here to Spain right by the corner flag. 5 minutes of additional time here at the Anton Malatinsky Stadium in Trnava. Here in western Slovakia, 29 miles northeast of Bratislava. Lopez crossing from deep here for Spain. Beadle comes a long way and grabs the ball. I was worried he was going to drop it then, because he found himself almost on top of a group of players, but safe hands Beadle holds on.
Yeah, it was a really good catch. James Beadle was Torrientes, Spain captain, that was coming in just to, if in case he dropped it, he just held on to it. Really, really good hand.
Quansah forward into Hutchinson, trying to shield it, trying to hold it, but lost it. But England back on it now with Stansfield. He's having to plough a lone furrow here down the left wing because he's got no one up in support at all. And in the end, well, I thought he'd want to throw for his side, but it actually goes Spain's way.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought that should have gone England's way. Kubil picked it up, Spanish right back picked it up, threw it straight away, and they just seemed to say, yeah, okay, that's your ball.
Torrientes plays for Real Sociedad. Back to Mosquera on the halfway line here for Spain. Pips a high ball looking for the run of Joseph over the top. Monumento is there. Spain have shown their threats, but I don't think Joseph is really one of them straight through the middle, is he? He's occupying a space, but England don't have to be too wary of him.
Yeah, he kind of remind me of when Jonathan Rowe was playing in the England front line. He's not really doing much. He's working hard, but he's not really getting any areas, not really allowing the midfielders to come and play either. I'd be surprised if we don't see a change in the second half.
Well, Joseph actually scored 5 goals in 4 qualifying games to reach the finals here, including a hat-trick against Kazakhstan in October. Thought the England goal was going to come under threat there, but Lee Carsley's side worked their way forward. Hinshelwood into McAtee. Checks, goes back on halfway, and England just need to get through to half-time now, I think. Morton. The defeat for England against Germany last time out was their first in 10 matches in the finals. Of course, went through without conceding a single goal 2 years ago. Hasn't quite been the same story this time around, but they've shown in patches they've got plenty of creativity in the final third. Quansah. McAtee finds a patch of space on the left-hand side in front of us here. We played nearly 3 minutes of the 5 added on. England just playing keep ball.
Exactly what they should be doing at the moment. Just play keep ball, no mistakes, don't give anything away cheaply, and let's just get to half-time.
One ball over the top here, trying to release Stansfield, and Stansfield might get there down the right. Iturbe came off his line to grab it. I don't know whether Stansfield should have done better there, or maybe gone in for the challenge, but just didn't stick a foot out to try and take it down out of the sky.
It was one club too strong, wasn't it? That's what that was. Charlie Cresswell if you take a tiny bit off of it, it would have landed perfectly in front of Stansfield. Instead, it just bounced and landed in Iturbe's arms.
Hutchinson trying to be a bit clever there, lost it, but England have it back with Hinshelwood. He's not trying to be clever in that left back position, knows when he's got to get it away, and knocked it fortunately they're off Juan Lu, out of play for a England throw in the left back position. It's a real warm evening here in Slovakia, temperature around 22 or 23 degrees at kick-off. Not quite as humid as it has been in the UK over the course of the last few days. Remember the throw, we've got 60 seconds to go in this first half. England working up a sweat, but did plenty of heavy lifting inside the opening 15 minutes when they got their goals. Going down the line here into Stansfield. doesn't really have too much physicality against the Spanish defenders. England not returning Spain the ball here, which the referee's not impressed with as he checks his watch. Tarega puts his foot on it and takes a quick free kick into Mosquera. And now Guerra receives it off the back line and looks immediately forward as to where he can play the ball, but it's a safe pass instead. Square into Mosquera. Guerra drops into the back line to give the two full-backs a bit more licence to attack down the sides, and Bueno has played in. Lopez here on the left wing returns it towards Bueno, but Livramento there to play it away for England. Elliott into his own area to Morton. Down the right hand side there in towards Stansfield, but there is the half-time whistle. So we're back underway, and before England are able to take the kick-off, two Spanish players sprint into the England half, searching to try and win the ball back that wasn't even there. Now we get it underway, and it goes back to Cresswell, who plays a long high ball up onto the left hand side, forcing Pubil to head it clear under pressure from Hutchinson. Remember, if it does finish level, and we are set for extra time and possibly penalties at the end of this one. Should England fear that with the way this game is going?
Not at the moment. That shouldn't come into their heads at all. They should be just thinking, concentrating on their job, and just, if you're a defender, if you're a deep line midfielder and the goalkeeper, you think if we don't concede we win this game, and that's all that should be in their minds at the moment until anything happens.
Well, England had a good clean sheet record in qualifying. They only conceded goals in 4 of their 10 matches. But of course a big step up here at the finals, where 16 teams have contested in 4 groups of 4. Top two in each have made it through as England cross the ball in here, and Iturbe grabs it. Do you want to see a bit more from Omari Hutchinson in this second half, maybe?
I think so. Sometimes it's difficult as a wide player. I played there myself to get involved in the game. You're working hard for your team. If they've got attacking fullbacks, he's up against Pubil. He's relatively attacking. It's hard to get involved as much as you want.
Elliott in space down the right, tried to play it forward a bit too quickly there. It wasn't going to reach Stansfield. It was blocked in front of him anyway. And Spain in possession now, just short of the halfway line on the right hand side. Short ball square into Beñat Turrientes, the man wearing the captain's armband. Plays a long ball out to the left hand side here, and it's a great piece of control by Diego Lopez. Gets up to the edge of the penalty area now. Livramento sticks a foot in and wins it back against him, and then puts his body in between man and ball, and knew as soon as that contact came that he was going to send himself down to the ground and win a free kick.
Yeah, it's brilliant defending. Tino Livramento tackles with the left foot as he goes to nick inside of him, and then it's clever defending as well. Nothing really happened. There weren't much contact. As soon as he felt the arms on his back, right in his own corner flag, it just goes over, and that's always going to be given as a foul. Good defending.
So no changes for either side at half-time. Just to recap the 2-11s for you. England's starting this game with Beadle in goal, and then Livramento at right back, Cresswell, Cronsa and Hinshelwood at left back. 3 in midfield of Morton, Scott and Elliott as well, who's kind of drifting around the same as McAtee really, and then Hutchinson playing wide left with Stansfield, the man pinned as the central striker. Edge of the area here is Hutchinson, back to goal, lovely back heel, England in again with Stansfield, who strikes, and it was deflected over the top of the bar. That was genius there for England, but Stansfield just couldn't get his shot away before the deflection came.
Oh, it was absolutely brilliant stuff from Omari Hutchinson. Another good run forward for Joel Quansah. Finds Omari Hutchinson, goes in on his right foot, plays a lovely back heel, 3 defenders out the way, and then it was deflected over by Tarega. But I'm just watching the replay now, 3 or 4 Spanish defenders got sold. It weren't Tarega, it was Tarega just missed. It was Mosquera coming in behind him, just deflected it over the bar. That would have been an unbelievable goal.
And that could have finished it as well. England corner on the right here. Plenty of England flags behind the goal, including a West Bromwich Albion Smethwick one. High ball towards the far post here, nodded back into the box by Quansah. Iturbe grabs it. Still more quarter-final action to come in this competition tomorrow. Already today it's finished Portugal 0, the Netherlands 1. Mark van Bommelsson was sent off in that game. That just puts some numbers on your age, doesn't it? He was sent off. Portugal missed a penalty through Sporting's Giovanni Quenda. And then a goal 6 minutes from time from Ernest Poku, securing the win for the Netherlands. While tomorrow it's Denmark against France, it's Germany against Italy. Germany, who won England's group, and Italy, who came second to Spain in their group. Turbe's played the ball out here, and England have won it back 25 yards from goal. Well, Hutchinson crosses into the box, and there was no one there in an England shirt at all. He had 2 or 3 players no more than 5 or 10 yards away from it.
I think he should know that, Omari Hutchinson. I think that was a waste. I think he should know. Jay Stansfield wins it up real high, finds Omari Hutchinson. He'll know no one's going to be in the box, because it's the Spanish defence that Turbe that made the mistake. Probably better off just getting it on his left foot and having a shot.
On the right-hand side, England showing great pace, and Stansfield onto it here. A bit of confusion between he and Livramento. The two weren't quite sure who was going to get to the ball. Livramento certainly had the flight of his run there. He was flying down the right-hand side. Stansfield took it, and Mosquera blocked it behind for a corner.
I think Livramento thought that Stansfield was offside. I did, and when I just see the replay, Puba was playing him on right on the far side. So I think he was shouting, just leave it, otherwise he's going to give offside. He wasn't. Jay Stansfield knew he timed his run perfectly, tried to get the cross in, and he's won his team a corner.
The winners here will go to the National Football Stadium in Bratislava for a semi-final on Wednesday. Elliott crosses from the right here from this corner. Cresswell getting up! Always into the side netting. We saw the net ripple. And I'm not sure about you, Darren Ambrose, but I thought that was 3-1.
I've got my hands on my head right now. I thought it was in. It looked like it was in. I think Turbe made an effort to get to the ball. That's a great leap. We see that in game day 1, didn't we, against Czechia? Charlie Cresswell headed it in from a corner, and we thought it had happened again. I was about to start cheering, but he had it covered, Turbe. It was good covering. He knew where his position was. I think the net being so big made us think that was in.
England making a double change on 51 minutes, which is interesting. Just 6 minutes into the second half. Alex Scott and Omari Hutchinson both go off. John Rowe comes in. Elliot Anderson as well is being introduced here. What do you think of those two changes?
I'm surprised they've happened as early as they have. I think that maybe the Hutchinson one where he should have probably just put it on his foot and shot allowed them to make the decision a bit quicker. But yeah, I'm surprised they've done it after 51 minutes. I thought they'd have given it maybe to an hour.
As a former player, what does that say to you about what the manager's thinking?
I think he's thinking that maybe there's an opportunity to get a third goal as well. Bringing Jonathan Rowe on, Elliot Anderson, who's had a good tournament up to now.
And Rowe will be delighted to be playing in his natural position as well off the left. And Anderson finds him here. Inside the box, John Rowe slips it back towards Anderson. Low ball in, deflecting behind England corner.
I think I'm delighted as well to see Jonathan Rowe in his natural position, because he's worked tirelessly for his team throughout the tournament. Not really had much joy in terms of on the ball possession or any chances. So I think, as you said, he'll be delighted to be in his natural position.
52 minutes gone here, live on Talk Sport. Spain preparing changes, but they trail England under-21s by 2-1 in this UEFA under-21 championship quarter-final here in Trnava, Slovakia. Looks like there are going to be at least 2 changes here for Spain. Haudeguita, one of those. England corner curled into the box now, headed away by Mosquera. Back towards the edge of the box again. Torrientes this time helps it out. On by Lopez into Molero. He was looking for runners ahead of him here and plays it high towards the middle, and Joseph, but Livramento does well. Helped on there then by Hinshelwood in midfield. He's a really calm player, isn't he? Nothing really phases him.
Yeah, I think both fullbacks are like that at the moment, especially when they come inverted.
Rowe's gone past 2 as he moves from the left side to the right. He's got it back here off Livramento. Rowe, Elliott trying to help it into Livramento, but England have a throw on the right-hand side.
It's been a good start to the second half by England. We expected Spain to come out fast, try and start the half as they ended the first half. It's not, it's been England, all England again.
Elliott. It's Livramento who prods it out to play, and the referee wasn't sure there. I think between them, he and the assistant down in front of us have guessed that one, but England do now have a throw after great pressure by Stansfield. And it's 10 yards up from the corner flag on the right-hand side. This will be taken by Elliott into Livramento. Down the line into Rowe. Being pressurised there by Bueno, who's likely to be playing for Wolves next season, having spent that loan spell at Feyenoord, because Wolves have already sold Ryan Aït-Nouri to Pep Guardiola's new look Manchester City side, which is certainly going to be a big step up for him. in terms of stepping up, and the responsibility involved was being the left back in that side. McAtee in possession in the Spain half here for England. Cresswell. Anderson receives it in the middle. He was challenged by his opposite number there, Turientes. And Spain lose the ball again pretty quickly, and Quansah will go home here to Beadle. Plays it short back to Quansah in the left channel, carries it forward in the left back position here, Jarell Quansah of Liverpool. And then Rowe trying to drop in and get on the ball. He's lost it. Spain have it, edge of the area. Molero has plenty of space. Joseph onto his left side. Livramento blocks in front of him. Great block as well by the Newcastle man, and England survive. And here comes Spain again, a second wave off the left. Mosquera. Lopez has to go back to the halfway line, and Terega, he plays it out to the right hand side this time. 10 minutes gone in the second half. Spain 1, England 2. Molero didn't really have too much ahead of him, so goes back and finds Guerra, the scorer of the penalty that gave Spain a chance 5 minutes before half time. Bueno on the left wing, running here at Elliott just standing there against him and says, hey, come on, you're going to have to beat me here. Back to Mosquera. And Spain at the moment just going up and down, side to side. England not giving them any space in that middle area. Juanlu. There are a lot of moths and mosquitoes flying around this stadium here at the moment. Doesn't look like it's affecting the players too much down at pitch level. Guerra to the right wing. Ball played forward, nicely weighted is the right channel for Molero's run, but Quansah saw him off.
A bit of respite for England. It's good passage of play by Spain. There was an opportunity. I think it was Juanlu. He chose the wrong option. I think he should have just attacked the goal. He tried to find Joseph, but there's a good block by Livramento to stop the danger. I just felt Juanlu had the opportunity to just unleash.
So here come the changes. Juanlu is coming off. Haraguita, the central midfielder, will come on. And Turientes going off, and Moro coming on, who's a winger. So those two subs not really the right way round in terms of the way they've been done. But Moro, a player who really loves to get the ball and run at his fullback. Going to be interesting to see how he gets on here. He's been linked to Wolves in the last couple of days. He's been one of these standouts for Spain in this tournament, despite the fact he hasn't been a regular at all. He started on match day 3 but was a sub for the previous 2 games. It's back here now with Turbek. No shots on target for either side in the second half. We've played 12 minutes now. England just have to keep a clean sheet here, and they're into the last 4 of the competition. They look to defend this crown, won by Carsley 2 years ago. Of course, with a very different side. Elliott and Cresswell, the only 2 that remain. Elliott came on in the final against Spain, while Cresswell was an unused substitute for that final match. Beadle's put the ball straight out of play here. It's a throw to Spain, in line with the edge of the England penalty area. Thrown back into the attacker there, Moro, who gives it back to Prubiel on the right-hand side. Low ball in towards the near post. Played away nicely by Quansah on the outside of his foot. Late challenge on Rowe, not penalised by the referee. Rowe looking over towards the assistant referee and asking why the flag didn't go up. It feels like there's just a bit more expectation now from Spain after they've made those changes.
Yeah, they're just allowing them back into this match, aren't they? Even before the changes, they had a good passage of play, 15-20 passes, just moving the England players, moving the England defence around. And this is what England don't want. You don't want Spain to get back in on the front foot in this match.
Almost an hour gone here in Trnava. The home of Spartak Trnava. Slovakia, the national team themselves, have played dozens of games here in the past in a city known as Little Rome, due to the aesthetic beauty of it. Terega to the halfway line, finds Haraguita of Athletic Club of Bilbao. Lopez on the left wing, running here at Livramento, just looks over his shoulder to see what's behind him. Lopez comes in field and kills one out to the right wing. Here is Moro, diminutive little figure but packs a punch. This cross here is easily blocked by Rowe. He's out of play for a Spain throw just about midway inside the England half.
Yeah, they're just taking over Spain at the moment. The last 10 minutes it's all been them on the front foot attacking England. England have dropped deeper. We see that in the latter stage of the first half before they conceded.
Aragita, nice little bit of footwork there to get away from two England players, but then his through ball was overhit, and Beadle this time goes long. He's tried to play short so far tonight, but plays the percentages game a little bit more. Bueno caught out as he tries to hook it over the head of Elliott, but Elliott nodded it down and carries on his run into the box. Now Stansfield on the right hand side, didn't quite have enough on it to find McAtee at the far post. Spain clear it away, and now caught in the face there is Lopez. It's a free kick to La Rojita, 15 yards short of the halfway line.
Yeah, it was a good break by England. Harvey Elliott winning it back, driving, finding Jay Stansfield, good run into the channel. As you said, he just needs to lift it over the defenders and he would have found James McAtee at the back post. He didn't. He tried to hit it along the floor. Comfortable defending in the end for Elliot Anderson. Clatters into Diego Lopez.
Nice give and go, and Spain down the right hand side at pace. Moro edge of the area, Joseph in the middle, comes back together, palmed away by Beadle once and twice. Heroics from the England goalkeeper. How did he keep those out?
Outstanding. We was talking before, we've not seen much of James Beadle. He's looked good, but we've not really seen him having to make a save. He's just made two there to keep his team in it. Keep his team in the lead. Double save, James Beadle. Guerra, their danger man, really. It's a great couple of efforts. Arguably, you can say both straight at him, but he had to do the job. Powerful hands. The second one was even better.
But it's that classic training ground drill that you always see for the keepers, isn't it? Save one, get up and go the other way. And that was exactly what that was there.
It was great defending because Livramento and Charlie Cresswell was in front of him, diving to try and get the block in. And he concentrated, watched the ball, didn't watch any of the players, watched the ball, and it was strong hands.
61 minutes gone. Spain 1, England 2 here. Listen to live coverage of the UEFA Under-21 Championship here with me, James Fielden, and the former Under-21 international, Darren Ambrose. He's been with me throughout this competition so far. Bueno down the left touchline here for Lopez. Guerra works it back inside. Mosquera. England with a lot of energy in their play at the moment. They're chasing Spain and have won the ball back. Stansfield holds it, leaves it for Elliott. Now Spain down the left with Joseph. Gets it and takes it away from Livramento, but comes inside now Joseph and then curls one towards goal. But curls it straight down the throat of Beadle, who will gladly hold on to the ball. But of course he can now only hold it for 7 or 8 seconds before he's got to get rid of it.
Yeah, comfortable save. Mateo Joseph just didn't start the ball wide enough. He cut in from the left-hand side onto his right foot. Should have gone wide of the post. He didn't. And it landed comfortably in James Beadle's hand, but they're looking dangerous now, Spain, in the 63rd minute, and it's been all them last 10-15 minutes.
Just wondering whether Stansfield might be the next man replaced in this game. His influence is waning somewhat, still chasing, still putting pressure on, but he's not a striker of physical standing at all, is he? Really gets bumped off the ball quite easily. Interesting to see how that plays out in the Championship next year.
Yeah, it really will. He's a runner, isn't he? He makes clever runs, but if you've got big strong defenders, and these two Spanish players, Mosquera and Torrega, are big strong defenders, they can just give him a little bump and just knock him off his stride.
Well, McAtee had just gone down there temporarily and play came to a halt without the referee stopping the game, but McAtee is up and okay to continue. Harvey Elliott down the line here to Livramento, who's trying to beat Lopez for pace but couldn't do that. Lopez gets it away, but England trying to win it back, and then Elliott absolutely hammers it into his own dugout, which won't be a pretty sight for one of the subs, I'm sure. Someone would have taken that pretty close to the face. What's Lee Carsley thinking at the moment? We've played 63 minutes. England have led by 1 goal since the 39th minute now.
He never gives anything away, does he, Lee Carsley? He's always there, corner of his technical area, squatting down. I mean, he must have some quads on him, I tell you, because he does that all throughout the game.
Poker face Carsley.
Yeah.
But yeah, not a man full of emotions, is he?
He's not, I'm sure inside he's probably not panicking, but he's thinking, right, how do I gain control of this match? As we said, Spain are in control at the moment. Can we hit one on the counter-attack? Maybe, as you said, looking to replace Stansfield. Jonathan Rowe up front, maybe once again, because he is looking a little bit tired up there on his own.
Do you have to be a glass-half-full manager?
Yeah, I think so. You don't want to be so negative, because the players will buy into that negativity as well.
Rowe, edge of the area, gets it onto his left foot and strikes towards goal. He was slightly off balance and moving away from the target as well, but it took a nick on its way through, and England have another corner, their fourth of this game.
Yeah, I like Rowe on this left-hand side. He's getting the ball, he's attacking the defender. This time Pubel went with him and got a good block in the end, but his only thought was, can I get a shot off? And he did. He's won his team a corner.
England have had plenty of these situations already. Can they make one count? They have only had one more shot on target than they've scored so far. Turbe hasn't been called into action too often and hasn't always looked totally comfortable when the ball has been heading in his direction. Plenty of movement in the corner. From the corner here as it comes in towards Quansah, but goes past him. Danger over for Spain. What do you think of that link between Quansah and Bayer Leverkusen? It's a big step for him to make.
It is a big step, but I mean, I've been extremely impressed with him throughout this tournament. Him and Charlie Cresswell, I think they've been a real good partnership. And I think if he wants to go and play football, we've seen a lot of these young English players go abroad, haven't we, and see what they can do abroad. And the majority of them have worked, and I think that's probably in his head how they've worked, and can he do the same thing?
Playing 21's football here, but he was part of the provisional squad for Euro 2024 last year. Jarell Quansah. Moro into the box for Spain, pulls it back, Molero flicks it on. England able to boot it clear.
Molero looking as if, where is everyone? It was a lovely little Cruyff turn into the box and no one was there except Cresswell to clear it.
It's just turning into a basketball game at the moment. McAtee to the halfway line, and Rowe, who joins in the attack now, almost halfway through this second half. Both sides have made just a duo of changes up until now. England in possession with Quansah. Spain again, not chasing this ball. Just to remind you about the games we've got coming up for you here on the TalkSport network. Tomorrow night, 1 a.m. start for Manchester City against Al Ain. 7:45 on Tuesday, Benfica against Bayern. Esperance de Tunis against Chelsea, 1 a.m. on Tuesday going into Wednesday. And Thursday we've got Juventus against Manchester City, which should be a decent clash. And plenty more action from the Club World Cup after that as well. Mascara playing it forward. Anderson picks it back up for England here, and it's just given England a bit more of an assured presence in midfield since he's come on. Elliott back here to Cresswell. England fans here just desperate for their side to get a third goal, which would surely kill this game as a contest. And what has been a match of reasonably few clear-cut opportunities. Ball back here to Beadle was a bit sharp from Cresswell, who gets it back now. Plays a long, high channel ball down the right, looking for Stansfield, who may well have been coming back from an offside position. Doesn't get involved. Spain have it inside the England half. Joseph approaching the edge of the penalty area, just moves his back between man and ball to hold on to it. Goes onto the left wing to Lopez, back to Bueno, back to Lopez again. In line with the edge of the penalty area now. Lopez shimmies a couple of times as though he's going to cross and plays it back instead to Mosquera. Pubil, Moro on the right hand side, running here at Hinshelwood, goes past Hinshelwood on the inside, outside to Pubil, who fires the cross goal, and Cresswell there with a very well timed intervention. I thought for a second he was going to put it into his own net, but manages to put it behind for a corner.
Yeah, it could have gone absolutely anywhere, but it went exactly where he wanted it to go. Strong left foot, outstretched left foot, put it out for a corner. But I think I like the look of Raul Moro on the right hand side since he's come on. Really neat footwork, attacking a defender.
Spain corner's been taken short. It's played back out to the right. And Guerra, who plays a low one in. Joseph sets it back. Molero, well, he was going to play it inside and then shoot on his left, but a wonderful sliding challenge there. I think it might have been, was it Stansfield back there? I think it might have been.
Yeah, you're right. Stansfield has worked tirelessly for his team. Can't keep giving these opportunities away though.
Spain keep on coming back every single time. England can't retain it. Guerra on the right wing here. It's a cross in from Pubil. Great header by Cresswell. He's been so dominant in the air throughout this tournament. Spain back on the ball on the halfway line, and this game with a very familiar pattern to it at the moment. 69 minutes gone, Spain 1, England 2. Spain, and Malera gets a bit lucky as he comes inside there. Received the ball, didn't realise the space was going to open up for him, and eventually it's taken away from him by Hinchelwood. Cresswell. Livramento in the right back slot. Nice reverse ball into midfield there by Elliott, who motors to get away down the right now, but it's Morton who takes it initially. Elliott trying to join him. Stansfield up with him as well. Morton's going to shoot, and he's put it past the post. Oh, that was a great chance there for England as runners moved either side. Morton had the space to just move it in front of him and strike it towards goal. Thought he might go across goal, but pulled it towards the near post, and it was wide by at least a yard and a half.
Yeah, I don't blame him for shooting. I don't. There was an option. It was Jonathan Rowe who was coming into his left-hand side, but I don't blame him for shooting. And it was a yard and a half wide. It opened up for him, didn't it? There was trying to make movement off him. Jay Stansfield trying to take the defenders away. He did. It did open up, but it just went wide, probably a yard and a half. But there's signs for England on the counter-attack that they can be damaging. It has been Spain most of this last 20 minutes. They're running out of time.
There's a double change here for Spain. They've taken off Diego Lopez as well as Leeds United striker Mateo Joseph. Replacing him up front is Roberto Fernandez, who's a totally different type of striker. Big, bulky, will put himself around a little bit more than Joseph. Pablo Torre, who's a number 10 in the side, probably wouldn't naturally play wide, so it wouldn't be surprising if Malero goes out there and Pablo Torre plays in the hole. But England making changes as well. They've sent on Hayden Hackney here of Middlesbrough, and also Brooke Norton-Cuffy, who's come into the side in the last couple of the games. McAtee and Elliott, the two to make way.
Looks like he wants to protect this lead now, taking off a couple of danger players. But it's going to be difficult to protect. They've just got to be patient, England. Try and hit them on the counter-attack and just work for one another. We spoke before the game, you've got to work off the ball tirelessly in this tournament.
This is where fans get annoyed, isn't it, when you start putting on defenders for attackers. I mean, I know Norton-Cuffy can play high up on the right-hand side, as he's more often played as a wing-back maybe in his career, but is that sensible management from Carsley, despite what the fans might think?
Well, I mean, the end result will tell you if it's sensible management. We've seen that. If it stays at 2-1, maybe 3-1, England might nick a goal on the counter-attack, then you'd say, yeah, it was a genius move. If it's inviting pressure and Spain go on to get an equaliser, and if not a winner, then you'd say, well, it was a poor decision. It's all result-based.
So England are taking off 4 of their front 5 now. Norton-Cuffy, though, playing a ball in from the right. Rowe trying to reach it. They've taken off McAtee, Scott, Elliott and Hutchinson in this game, with now Rowe, Hackney, Anderson and Norton-Cuffy all coming in. Stansfield remains up front. He probably still has plenty of energy to give. Norton-Cuffy wins the ball back here for England after a stray ball played forward by Spain. Anderson on the right, being chased by 3. Plays it through the legs of Malero, and Livramento gives it to Hackney, who returns it here to Cresswell. We've spoken so much in this tournament, Darren Ambrose, about just how many players are missing for England due to injury, due to the Club World Cup. Do you think if they did, for argument's sake, go out tonight, I know they're winning at the moment, but do you think Lee Carsley would look at this as a decent run given the squad that he's actually got in the end compared to the one that he qualified with?
And maybe once he analyses it and once he recognises those players are missing, predominantly the players that would be in the starting 11, yes, he probably will think, okay, it was relatively successful. He'll still be disappointed though. He'll still want to go further than the quarterfinals with this England side, because we're still full of quality, full of players that play in top leagues, top clubs, so he'll want to go further than this.
Here comes Malero, edge of the area, strikes towards goal, it's deflected behind for a Spain corner. Hey, talk about glass half full. I've just asked you that question when England are leading this game by 2-1.
I know, but that's the way the game's going at the moment, isn't it? We think that Spain could quite easily get back into this game. Another corner now.
Swung into the box, headed away well by Quansah. Back out to Pablo Torre, who's just come on and will try and make things happen, the Barcelona midfielder. Javi Guerra challenged by Hackney. Between he and Norton Cuffey, they've done well to win the ball back, and Norton Cuffey just loops it over one of the Spain players into the path of Hackney, but he thought the ball was going out, it didn't. Then Anderson wins it back, and then he's hacked down from behind. England have a free kick, and this will just eat up 20 or 25 seconds for them. He was just trying to shield the ball there, but Javi Guerra nicked it off him. And it was Malero who just kicked through Anderson to try and win the ball there. Well, Carsley's got the iPad out and he's trying to work out something. Of course, they have to tape over all of the brand names of all the equipment they've got at this tournament. I even saw the players when they were warming up drinking cans of water that had been covered in sock tape. I mean, that's a painful task, for the kit man who's got to go through every single can.
I know, and someone's got to do it, and I can't see any of the players or any of the coaching staff wanting to be that person. It's
one way to fill your afternoon before a game, isn't it? We've played 75 minutes. England getting closer and closer to a semi-final date with the Netherlands on Wednesday night.
They just got to not concede, and that's as simple as that. And I think Cresswell, I think, has been magnificent today and throughout this tournament. And Gerald Quansah, they look comfortable at the moment. Don't concede, and if you can nick another one up the other end, you've got a huge chance.
From nowhere, England have a corner. It's on the right-hand side. And it's taken by Anderson towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Spain partially clear. It's back with England though on the right wing. Anderson can roll it down the line here for the run of Morton. Oh, he's done really well against Morrow. Into the box and he goes down as well. Well, the referee says not even a free kick. It was told to get back to his feet there was Morton. Maybe he was looking for it ever so slightly, but it takes a bold referee to say that there. Obviously with the cushion of VAR in the background. But as he was getting closer and closer to the edge of the penalty area there, Morton, the referee had a major decision to make.
Yeah, he certainly did. I thought it was at least a foul on initial viewing. He's done really well, Morton. He won the ball, then he nicked it through. I think it went through the legs, like just round the other side of Raul Morrow, and then he touched it, got his body in between him and the ball. I think that could have been a free kick. I think it was outside the box.
The cynic
could have been a free kick.
The cynic in me says that he's tried to flick his legs up behind him a little bit there, but there was contact of sorts. Can't deny that.
Yeah, he was looking for it, of course. But as you said, if there's contact, then maybe that could have been a free kick. Definitely wasn't a penalty.
Nothing doing though, and a corner to England. Anderson with the outswinger. They've got runners in there. Headed away by Mosquera, and what a header it was as well. Back to the right-hand side. Anderson will steady himself and deliver again. A bit closer in. Free header! Oh, it's over the bar. What a chance there. And it really should have been put in by Hinshelwood.
It's a free header, James. You're absolutely right. Elliot Anderson with a lovely delivery. Mosquera was the initial defender to clear it. Wasn't picking it up. Was unaware that Hinshelwood was behind him. He just has to keep it down. He keeps it down. It's 3-1. He keeps it down. It's game over.
He's had a few in this tournament, hasn't he, Hinshelwood, where he's got himself into those kind of positions, and we've always bigged him up as saying that he's good with his head in the box, but again it goes agonisingly over the bar.
I just think he's got his timing all wrong. It's a real opportunity. As we said, keep that down, you're 3-1.
Another change for Spain. They've sent on another winger here, another winger who's been linked with Wolves actually. Jesus Rodriguez of Real Betis comes in. He scored against Italy here on Tuesday, having been a sub in the second game, was unused in their opener against Slovakia, but a fairly rangy wide man who will drift in field as well. But they've got he and Morrow on the sides now. It will cause some tiring England defenders a few headaches, I'm sure, in the time that is left here. 78 minutes gone. Spain under 21's 1, England 2. It has been this way since the 39th minute. Coming inside here is Jesus Rodriguez. Plays it to Morrow on the right-hand side, running here against Hinshelwood. He's got an overlapping run from Pubil as well, who puts a high one in. It was past Fernandez in the middle, headed away by Cresswell. England really having to dig in here now. Anderson's won it back though. Pablo Torre waiting, and Anderson with a weighted through ball there. Oh, and Stansfield's onto it. Still got to be Mosquera. Stansfield tries to play it square, and there wasn't enough on it. And Spain will now break out themselves. What an opportunity for England.
He never looked comfortable. Stansfield never looked comfortable. It was a bad mistake. Mosquera tried to play it back to his goalkeeper. Basically put him in for a 1v1, but didn't look comfortable. Didn't want to attack. Ended up trying to find Norton Cuffy and got it all wrong.
Guerra to the edge of the area now, into Jaureguizar. Pablo Torre to the right wing. Raul Moro. Spain with 4 forward in this attack. Moro comes inside, low ball in. Played away by Quansah, and luckily it went to the feet there of Rowe, who just hammers it as far as he can. And Stansfield being asked to do some real chasing now. Ethan Nwaneri is imminent here for England.
Yeah, I won't be surprised if that Stansfield looks extremely tired. As I said, didn't have the energy to attack the goal. We tried to find Norton Cuffy, got it all wrong.
Rodriguez, left-hand side against Livramento, comes inside onto his right. He's got Bueno outside of him to the left, helped on by Guerra. Pubil, edge of the box now. Pablo Torre clips it in, but there's no one there in a red Spanish shirt. And Livramento watches it behind. It's a goal kick to England. 10 minutes to go. And now Ethan Nwaneri is going to come on for England. Just seeing that chance for Stansfield again. Terega slid in. He thought he won the ball there, but it slid past him. And then Stansfield could have gone on the outside against Mosquera. Tried to play a square ball inside and got it wrong.
Yeah, he did get it all wrong. I think it was Mosquera come across to try and cover. He should have just attacked him, gone down the outside, as you said, hit one with his left foot. But just seeing him being removed for Nwaneri now just shows that he had zero energy left.
But tell us how good Stansfield, or bad in your opinion, how good or bad Stansfield has been tonight.
He'll be disappointed he ain't been involved too much with the ball, but without the ball I think he's been excellent. I think he's done a real job for his side, making unselfish runs, allowing players to come into the game. He's got a hug there off his manager Lee Carsley, and I think that's because they know that he has worked tirelessly for his team up front on his own without no real joy in front of goal.
But with 9 minutes left, if you want to bring a player on who can shield it, who can hold it, who can potentially score a goal for you on the breakaway, there aren't too many better players than Ethan Nwaneri, are there?
Absolutely, and I think that would be the message from Lee Carsley. Go on, maybe win some free kicks for us in dangerous areas, hold the ball up as far away as possible from our goal, and if you get an opportunity, let's see what you can do. He's such a talent. Let's see if you can win this game for us 3-1.
So both teams have made all their changes, and we've still got 10 minutes plus added time to go. Here live on TalkSport. Ball down the line, looking here for the run of Anderson. Still a play, and England just getting a little bit of time in the Spain half here at the moment. After us here tonight, we've got Fight Night with Adam Cattrall. Stay with us for all of the boxing action to come later this evening. To play here. It goes out off Anderson. Spain with a throw inside their own defensive third. England just got to make sure they're really tight, really compact in the time that remains here now. It'd be interesting for England if they could go all the way. I think Carsley won this tournament 2 years ago. The last time they won it before that was 1984 under Dave Sexton. That was the second time in succession they won it as well. England have won a free kick here after John Rowe put his body in a really good place and was challenged by Pubil. It's really about intelligence, isn't it, from these England players in what remains in this game to see themselves over the line.
Yeah, it's game management. It's keeping your cool, keeping calm, don't give nothing silly away. Coming up to the 84th minute, and if you can get an opportunity to score the third, but it's simple, don't concede and you're through to the semi-final.
Hayden Hackney standing over this free kick, but he leaves it now. Passes on the responsibility instead to Morton, formerly of Blackburn and Hull as well. Morton puts it into the box, well cleared away by Guerra. England have it inside their own half, and Spain having to chase England a little bit more than they were previously doing now. It's been given away, and Spain come. Guerra to Jesus Rodriguez on the left hand side, running here at Norton Cuffy. Jesus Rodriguez going on the outside and then jumps in the air like Tom Daly and throws himself to the ground, and the referee rightly points for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's brilliant defending. Norton Cuffy was strong, didn't allow him to get beyond him, and I think that's the right decision. We're just having a look at the replay. He won the ball, and then it hit Jesus Rodriguez and went out for a goal kick. Brilliant defending.
Suddenly had springs in his studs there, didn't he? Never seen a jump like it.
No, he was clutching at straws there, wasn't he? I think he was trying to fool the referee. He was having none of it.
So Beadle with this goal kick, and he'll be putting everything into this now, sending it into that wide area. I say that, he plays it straight down the centre of the field instead, and plays off Rowe, who gets the flick on and wins the free kick as well. Things are starting to turn in England's favour here at the moment. They're getting decisions, they're getting free kicks, and limiting Spain's time on the ball.
They're doing the right thing as well. We've seen James Beadle play out from the back and try and build up from the back, but now it's just get as far away from the goal as possible, win free kicks up the other end of the field, take your time. It's game management. That's all England need to do. 85 minutes gone in this match. There's 5 minutes plus whatever is going to be added on. Just don't concede, don't give nothing silly away.
Five minutes left. Spain with a throw in right on the halfway line here to be taken by Bueno, who gets it back, and then a really poor touch. He hasn't been impressive at all in this tournament. Bueno gives it to Ethan Nwaneri, who's darting forward here for England. He's up towards the edge of the box. Nwaneri hits it, blocked by Terega. Hackney takes it on, and is in no rush to put it back into the box. Just drifts out wide a little here, up against Pablo Torre. Nwaneri, edge of the area. His first touch wasn't great, couldn't take it on himself. Anderson taken away from him by Terega, and Spain with their nous find a way out, but they've lost it now. Rowe takes it, but Spain back on the ball, and then Rowe goes down, and a yellow card is out here, and Rowe's actually going to be booked for carrying the ball away, I think. How'd you look? He knew what he was doing there, John Rowe, didn't he? Just trying to wind the clock down. You don't get away with that in the English game anymore, but continentally you can still use those tricks.
Yeah, he's just delayed the restart. I think that's what they call it, isn't it? And yeah, it's a yellow card, but he's taken one for his team. That's what that's called there. And didn't allow them to play it quickly, kept hold of the ball. And there you go again, Spain.
Get up. Bueno. Towards the edge of the England box here. Bueno wanted to go one more and beat Livramento, who jumped into a challenge and put the ball out of play. And you can see England as a team, they're really digging in here now late on. In the 87th minute, Spain 1, England 2. Goals from McAtee and Elliott much earlier in this game, but in here towards Fernandez, who nods down. The first chance that Spain have had in quite a while, and Beadle makes a simple save.
It's just sometimes when it's your game, it's your game. From minute 1, minute 2, when the penalty wasn't given, and there was a couple of shots earlier, wasn't there, straight at Beadle from Guerra, and this time again header. Jump the highest, a yard either side, it goes in, but this time straight at Beadle again. Sometimes when your luck's in, your luck's in.
And so Lee Carsley down again, crouching in his technical area at the moment, just watching everything unfold in front of him. Could he make history here as an England boss? And after so many had written his side off earlier in the tournament as well, it would be a real fight back here from England. Ball inside by Norton Cuffley, and actually goes out off a Spain player in the end. There's just Rodriguez. It's an England throw. Livramento just drying the ball in his top as the Spain subs behind him give him a mouthful. Livramento knocks it down the line here into Ethan Nwaneri. Lovely hold-up play, and plays it into the path here of Norton Cuffy, who can stretch those long legs. He's in the box. Norton Cuffy hits it into the stanchion behind the goal. England have had so many of those chances in slightly wide areas around the edge of the box, and they haven't been able to put any of them in.
Yeah, it's really good once again, and it's the substitutes. It's Nwaneri that's played it through to Norton Cuffy. He's just attacked the defenders. It all opened up. Jonathan Rowe made a run to the right-hand side, which took the defenders. He tried to go, hit it with his left foot, just hit the side netting once again. The net rippled, but it wasn't the right way.
Bueno. Jesus Rodriguez. England tantalisingly close to another semi-final in this competition. In the two events before 2023, they didn't get out of the group stage. They reached the semis in 2017. That was the only time since 2009. It's been a really checkered history in this tournament for England. It looks like they're going to have another deep run here. And they will be back on Wednesday to bring in the semi-final if and when England can get there. They are minutes away from being confirmed in the last four. And the game against the Netherlands. Spain have it on the right. Nice give and go. Moro down the right wing here. Checks inside. He's inside the box. High ball in, headed away by Cresswell. Mosquera. Pablo Torre down. Tarega to the right hand side. Spain really cranking up the heat here now. Ball out to the left hand side. Jesus Rodriguez. Norton Cuffey standing him up. Ball to the edge of the D. Spain having to come back out. Pablo Torre going down theatrically. Bueno swings in a left wing cross. England only headed out to the right hand side. Moro back in again. Slipping was Pablo Torre, and Anderson gets it out. And now the referee reaching for his pocket and sprinting over to this near side down in front of us here. He's shown someone a yellow card from about 30 yards away. All the best in guessing who that was for.
He gave up running over, didn't he? Then he got a bit tired. He started sprinting, then stopped about 35 yards away from the dugout.
Well, it's the Spain boss who's got a yellow card because he's not happy that only 4 minutes have been added on. I would have probably expected a little bit more.
Yeah, I'd say a little bit more, 5, 6 maybe. But 4's given. As I said, when your luck's in, it's in.
Tarega. This is all Spain now. England just having to keep the ball out of their penalty area, and they will be through. That was a high boot there by Guerra, who's joined the attack. He caught Morton there, who was always going to go down, and England have a free kick on the edge of their own penalty area.
It's actually clever from Morton. He's put his head. It was high boot, but he has gone down. It's one of those when he goes down to head it and the boot comes up a little bit, connects with him, and it's just allowing those England players to just waste these last few seconds. 3 more minutes to go. And they're in the semi-final again.
They are almost there. They've really had to dig in this game. Something that they really haven't had to do themselves much in the tournament up until now. This has been a totally different kind of game for them. Mosquera on the edge of his own penalty area for Spain. England leading Spain by 2-1 in the quarter-finals. Down by Cresswell. Livramento. England have it now. Morton. Back to Quansah. Quansah absolutely boots it upfield, but it goes straight out of play, and Spain hurriedly trying to find another match ball. We've got 2 minutes 15 to go.
Could have arguably kept the ball there, Quansah. He had options just to keep it, and I know I said just keep it as far away from the goal as possible, but sometimes you can just keep possession.
Oh, the flick on finds Rowe. He turns it away from goal. Rowe goes down. England have a penalty. England have a penalty in the 93rd minute, and that was all about the desire there from John Rowe, and the referee for the 3rd time in this game points to the same penalty spot.
He committed, Iturbe committed. Elliot Anderson leaps the highest above Mosquera. Yeah, and I think it's a penalty. There's not much connection, there's not much touch from the Iturbe to Jonathan Rowe, but yeah, for me it's a penalty. It's in the box. He's tried to pull out, but as he slid, the momentum of the slide has taken him into John Rowe's legs. I don't know, I'm watching another contact. Angle. There was contact.
Has Rowe stood on him?
This is a difficult call, this one.
It looks like it's going to stand here. The referee has got the penalty ready, and standing over it here for England is Elliot Anderson. What a chance here to send England through to the semi-finals. It's Anderson, it's destination Bratislava. England are into the semi-finals surely now of the Under-21 Championship. Not that you know it by Anderson's reaction. Ashley Cole delighted on the bench, and although Lee Carsley's not shown much emotion himself, he will be ecstatic. England have come through this quarter-final tie and lead Spain by 3-1.
I love that. I love that celebration. Took the penalty, turned around, nonchalant. I do this all the time. Where's the pressure? There's no pressure there. turns round, sees his teammates. Let's go to the semi-finals. Absolutely brilliant. Glad he was given as a penalty, because it was a penalty. The momentum slid in to Jonathan Rowe, took him out. Elliot Anderson done the rest. Led by example. Lovely penalty. Sent a turbo the wrong way. Game over. Semi-finals. Here we come.
A nice moment for John Rowe as well, who hasn't had too many moments to celebrate in this competition up until now. We have played the 4 minutes that was signalled by the referee, and there is the full-time whistle. England are into the semi-finals. Lee Carsley is smiling now, all right, after games in Dunajska Streda and Nitra, as well as here in Trnava. All roads now lead to Bratislava, because England will play the Netherlands on Wednesday for a place in next weekend's final.